Hi everyone. Uh, I just wanted to make a little video of how I'm doing and things, and I have to begin by saying I'm overwhelmed, absolutely overwhelmed by the messages of care and well-being and healing and love and well-wishing and and just there's blimey. uh, Being on the receiving end of your light is astonishing. Um, I know that I don't have any family. All my family have passed on, and to constellate a sense of a family of friends through life is quite a thing to do, especially if you're kind of rather shy, which I am underneath, and have a kind of a slightly a brain that's wide, largely different to most other people, and to find there's something about me that you love so much is just it, yes, I'm still absorbing it, really. So I thought I'd make a little video to let you know how things are, because it's easier for me to talk than it is to type, and not only that, but it's kind of nicer if someone tells you. So, how are things? Well, my foot's all bandaged up, as you can see from my profile photo, and I have this thing. This is a shoe with Velcro things on it, and this goes over my foot with the bandage. And Jane very kindly showed me last night that the reason for that isn't just because I can't put my foot in a normal sandal. But even if I'm walking around the house, I have to put that on because the structure of it keeps the shape of my foot, the integrity of my shape of foot in place. Because when you put weight on a foot, it splays out, and of course that splaying out would pull the stitches. So by keeping my foot kind of held in shape, it means that when I put weight on my foot, it still means that the stitches are close packed together, and so that will enable them to heal properly. So even if I stand up or go to make a cup of tea, I have to go through a little bit of a rigmarole of putting that on. I've spent the last almost 5 years of having intense 24/7 pain in my foot. So at the moment I have intense 24/7 pain in my foot. So in that sense, it's not that much different to normal, although I would say it's very strong. It is a very strong pain, and I've been given some cocodamol things, which have certain side effects. One of which I'm going to counter with linseeds, so that will help to offset any problem with that. And when I've taken a couple of those once every 4 hours, the pain diminishes. But there's something else that I've noticed that really makes the pain go away, and that is when I engage in a conversation with somebody, uh, in chat, but largely through talking on the phone. As soon as I hear someone's voice, my attention becomes other focused rather than Dave focused, and that doesn't stop the pain, but it changes its salience. So it kind of, if you think of foreground, background, so just the act of discussing something with somebody makes the pain go into the background. So for anyone who's written to me, sent a message, talked on the phone, chatted on Skype, any of that, thank you. And if you'd like to do more of it, it would be really helpful. Tiring for me, but at the same time, talking about your chart, chatting about anything, having a political rant, whatever it is, please discuss things with me, because it kind of takes my attention out. And I do find that typing is particularly difficult at the moment. I have dyspraxia, as you know, and arthritis in my hands, and that non-focal dystonia thing. And I normally kind of spend a lot of my inner resources managing that so that I can type and engage. But at the moment, my sort of strength is depleted a bit. So, so it's harder for me to manage that. So talking verbally is much, much easier. than me typing. So if you've written to me and I haven't replied, or if you've commented on something on a thread and I haven't, replied with a comment, it's not because I'm overlooking you, and it's not because I'm not interested. It's merely because it's kind of too much effort. And I don't mean too much effort for you. I mean too much effort, the activity of typing, finding words, putting them in the sequence, spell checking it, and all that stuff. So that's why I've just been kind of clicking like or love on things. So I hope that you get the message that I'm very, very grateful for what you've said or written. But I haven't necessarily got the wherewithal at the moment to spend such time. And I'm saying this because I actually feel guilty about it. I have this thing of, if someone writes to me or if someone comments, I want to engage and reply fully. I want to say thank you. I'm the kind of person that, I'd write thank you messages to anyone who sends me a birthday card. I'm that kind of thing. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm presenting you with a set of reasons why I'm not saying thank you for your very, very kind words. The procedure seemed to go well. I won't know yet. The pain in my foot has to subside before I can find out if there's a pain in my foot. And that sounds odd. You might have seen the note, but very basically there's a nerve running through the foot called a perennial nerve, and there's a surface one, and there's a deeper one. And beneath the deeper one, this bone goes through your foot. Now, I had an arthritic nodule on this bone, and when I was using a rowing machine 5 years ago, I tightened the straps up too much, and I pushed the nerve down onto this bone, and it fired off every nerve in my foot, well, at least in that nerve network. And I didn't do it just once. I did it repeatedly for about 3 months, every day, and for an hour at a time. And and I didn't know I was hurting my foot. Like I have a background pain anyway. I've got weak ligaments in my ankles and arthritis in my feet. So I just thought it was my normal foot pain until it became so strong and intense that I realised, hold on a minute, this is something in addition to. By that time it was too late. I'd already kind of hurt the nerve. So I found every time I stood on my foot, the weight underneath my foot would compress my foot, and of course that means that the nerve would go down on this arthritic nodule and fire off all the nerves. And instead of sitting with my feet up and allowing the whole network to calm down, my dear friend Michael was leaving life in Devon. So I was driving backwards and forwards to Devon every 3 days for about 2 months while my foot was supposed to be healing, which I knew would compound the problem. But Michael was leaving life, and it catching as much time with him as I could was really important. He was like he was like a father figure to me. A life guide at the time. So, yeah. And then the NHS, in their wonderful wisdom, said, here are some insoles for your shoes, which didn't do anything. And the process of this takes so long to get anything going that it's taken all this time. So a couple of months ago, they put a local anaesthetic inside my foot. That was fun. Man puts a long needle inside the centre of your foot. So once it's set in, I walked around and I made little diary notes for him. And I could feel the pain around the outside of my foot, the arthritic pain, but not the pain in the middle. This intense, constant stinging sort of went. And it's difficult because your brain's tracking for the absence of something, which is difficult for your brain to do because there's nothing there. So you just go, But I felt a sense of relief. And I actually felt how life felt before 2012, which is really odd because my life was so different then. And it's almost like going back in time. It's a strange sensation. So what's going to happen now that they opened up my foot yesterday and they shaved off this bit of arthritis. So presuming they haven't touched any of the other nerves, which we won't know yet, presuming they haven't fired off, there's a particular name the doctor gave me, I can't remember the name of it, but a phenomenon where a nerve switches on and won't switch off. Presumably, very small chance of that happening, but it does happen, and there's not much you can do. So hopefully that hasn't happened. And what I'll find in a little while is that as the wound heals, that the nerve that was being stimulated by the arthritic nodule isn't being stimulated any longer, and its newfound sense of freedom allows it to recover. And that will mean that when I put weight on my foot, the ground pushing up into my foot won't set the nerves off. And that will mean that I can cycle, and that will mean I can go back on the rowing machine properly and not use straps at all, and become fit and healthy and vibrant and enjoy life and have a longer life. And that's good, and it will help my brain to stay healthy too. So that's the purpose of all this. Now just got to wait and see the results. So I know some people have already said, was it a success? And the thing is, I don't know. I have no idea. We've got to wait. Got to wait for the pain threshold and things to settle, and then wait and see. At the moment, it's excruciating. But luckily, I'm so used to walking with a stick that I can hobble about the house. So I can get upstairs, I can get downstairs. It's slow, but it's possible. I can stand still long enough to make a cup of tea. I don't know about cooking though. That's the thing. And I can't drive for 2 weeks at least, because I've got to go back to the hospital and have the dressing examined. And that's when I find out if I'll be given permission to drive or not. And so at the moment I'm housebound and basically stranded. So I've got food for 2 weeks. I've sorted that. I can't do anything around the house. So I had a couple of cleaners that would come before, a couple of Polish girls. They were brilliant. And they quit, went back to Poland post-Brexit. So I haven't got anyone to clean the house and iron anyway. So I can't do it at the moment. So that's a bit of a thing, kind of, because I know it's going to look untidy and therefore it'll feel uncomfortable. I can't do much about that. Not for a while anyway. So at the moment, I can just put my foot up. So I'm going to write, talk and chat on Facebook and things, and do some things with a digital music studio. So I haven't played around with any properly recorded music for a couple of years, 3 years in fact. So it's kind of maybe given me a chance to rekindle that flame. Anyway, that's the basis of things. I can feel myself becoming very tired. I can almost feel like I'm kind of draining, as if someone's pulled a battery. So yes, I've also noticed that the recording light on this doesn't seem to be well lit. So I'm hoping this is actually recorded. And if it has, then I shall post it. And then this part of the conversation will seem absolutely silly, because I'm talking to you about whether or not I'm talking to you. Yes. I'm obviously slightly tired. So I'm going to go. Thank you so much for your care, your concern, your kindness, your comments, and your love. Thank you so much. It's really, really, really special. Really, you've contributed to my well-being enormously, and I'm very, very grateful. So thank you. I'll do an update again at some stage when there's something to report, or if people request it. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful day, and that someone wants to say hello, but I hope you have a brilliant, fantastic and wonderful day, and that your dreams and desires are coming fruitfully, bountiful for you. Take good care. I'll see you soon. Bye.